lost it. Oh no, that'd be a shame.
You gonna play it out of what? Where are you gonna be playing
I'd
it?
have to do it from memory. You can forget that crap.
No.
Okay, here it is. This was made popular by Charlie Daniels way back in the early 70s, called Uneasy Rider. It's Roger's favorite song. But it's real simple. We'll do it in G, C, D, round and round and round we go. Well, I was taking a trip out to L.A., tooling along in my Chevrolet, looking out the window and digging on the radio. Just as I crossed that Mississippi line, I heard that highway start to whine, and I knew that left rear tire was about to blow. Well, the spare was flat and I got uptight, 'cause there wasn't a filling station in sight, so I just limped down on the shoulder on the rim. I went as far as I could, and when I stopped the car, it was right in front of this little bar, kind of a redneck looking place called the Dewdrop Inn. Well, I stuffed my hair up under my hat, and I told the bartender that I had a flat, and would he be kind enough to give me change for a one? Well, there was one thing I was sure proud to see. There wasn't a soul in the place except for him and me, and he just looked disgusted, pointed towards the telephone. Well, I called up a station down the road a ways, and he said he wasn't very busy today, and he could have someone out there in about 10 minutes or so. He said, now you just stay right where you're at, and I didn't bother to tell a dang fool, and I sure as heck didn't have anywhere else to go. Well, I just ordered up a beer and sat down at the bar when some guy walked in and said, who owns this car? With a peace sign, the mag wheels, and the 4 on the floor. Well, he looked at me and I dang near died, and I decided I'd just wait outside. So I laid $1 on the bar and headed for the door. Well, just when I thought I'd get out of there with my skin, these 3 big dudes come a-strolling in with one old drunk chick and some fellow with green teeth. And I was almost to the door when the biggest one said, you tip your hat to this lady, son. And when I did, all that hair fell out from underneath. Well, now the last thing I wanted was to get in a fight in Jackson, Mississippi on a Saturday night, especially when there was only one of me and 3 of them. Well, they all started laughing and I felt kind of sick, and I knew I'd better think of something pretty quick, so I reached out and kicked old Green Teeth right in the knee. Well, now he let out a yell, it'd curl your hair, but before he could move, I grabbed me a chair and said, watch him, boys, 'cause he's a thoroughly dangerous man. Well, you may not know it, but this man's a spy. He's an undercover agent for the FBI, and he's been sent down here to infiltrate the Ku Klux Klan. Well, he was still bent over, holding on to his knee, but everybody else was looking and listening to me, and I laid it on thicker and heavier as I went. I said, would you believe this man has gone as far as tearing Trump stickers off the bumpers of cars, and he voted for Hillary Clinton for president. Yeah, he's a friend of those long-haired hippie-type guys. I bet he's even got a commie flag tacked up on the wall inside of his garage. Yeah, he's a snake in the grass, I'll tell you guys. He may look dumb, but that's just a disguise. He's a mastermind in the ways of espionage. Well, they all started looking real suspicious at him, and he jumped up and said, "Now wait a minute, Jim, you know he's lying. I've been living here all of my life. Well, I'm a faithful follower of Brother John Birch, and I belong to the Antioch Baptist Church, and I ain't got a garage. You can call home and ask my wife." Then he started saying something about the way I was dressed, but I didn't stick around to hear the rest. I was too busy moving and hoping I didn't run out of luck. And when I hit the ground, I was making tracks, and they were just taking my car down off the jack. So I threw the man a 20 and jumped in and fired that mother up. Oh, Mario Andretti would have sure been proud of the way I was moving when I passed that crowd coming out the door, headed at me at a trot. Well, I guess I should have gone ahead and run, but somehow I just couldn't resist the fun of chasing them all just once around the parking lot. Well, I headed for the car, but I hit the gas and I spun around and headed them off at the pass. I was slinging gravel and putting a ton of dust in the air. And when I hit the road, I was really wheeling. I had gravel flying and rubber squealing, and I didn't slow down till I was almost to Arkansas. Well, I think I'm gonna reroute my trip. I wonder if anybody think I flipped if I went to LA via Omaha. Thank you.
Good job, Don.